So, you have to wonder, these figures with the new wool-rooted hair technology from Hot Toys, are these figures all future Grails? And if so, why? We're going to be diving into that within this episode for sure. And what about all the old versions of each one of these figures? Are they destined for the bargain bin? Listen, baby, I've got the coffee brewed fresh right here, my friends. Really? Right on cue, the Hot Toys Wizard! Let's pick it up. Wizard, what's shaking, baby? Yeah, it was a phenomenal week last week. Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed. Well, you knew I made out with the Joker, but didn't make out with the Anakin. No, that was... No. That was my crystal ball for the next episode of Wizard's Crystal Ball, episode 3 of the Wizard's Crystal Ball, which talks about the absolutely upcoming, very quickly, Vader on the throne, and then also with the full Hayden Christensen head sculpt baby from the Obi-Wan series. No, I told you that. Let me tell you something. Let's go ahead and dive into all this right now. All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. And just in case you don't know just who I am the Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington, about to serve up all the 6 Scale Hot Toys talk. So please go ahead and smash that like button. I so do very much appreciate your support. And hey, while you're at it, why not also go ahead and subscribe to the 6 Scale Cantina? Again, thank you so much for your support. My, oh my, what a epic week. Last week it was when it comes to 6 Scale figures collecting, particularly with Hot Toys. I have not seen a buzz like that. Honestly, since I got into Hot Toys. Like seriously. And I really feel that it was much needed for not only this collecting community, but for 6 Scale collecting in general. Look, a lot of you watched my stream on Friday, the aftermath of this, and a lot of you know I did not make out. I was not able to pre-order. I am just on the wait list with this rooted hair Artisan DX Anakin. Why am I spilling this awesome Cantina coffee in the official 6 Scale Cantina mug? Is it possible? You have to Mick Wonder. Available at 6scalecantina.com. Just go there to the website. There'll be a link right to it. And, very affordable. But why did I spill this delicious coffee? Cheers to you, by the way. I hope you're having a good day. And I spilled it because I was excited. I really do believe, for me personally, it was a nice injection of excitement. I haven't been that excited about any collectible, quite frankly, let alone Hot Toys, in a long, long time. It was an awesome call to action. It brought the community together. It brought a lot of us friends together. It brought a lot of us acquaintances who have become friends together for something of like interest and something that we're all spilling our coffee over. I lucked out with the Joker. I didn't luck out with the Anakin. But I think that there needs to be balance. You know, I'm a firm believer in the principles of yin and yang. And a huge proponent for having balance within one's life. I personally feel, even though I got out of Black Series, and I did, I had the wrong mindset with it. But they've got great balance. Because almost half of their figures are chase figures. Not just 5% or 1% or, you know, a couple here, a couple there. There's quite a few. And you kind of mix that in with the ones that are more readily available or are able to get. Look. For those, I really like this mechanism because of that excitement and because of that rarity, that grail ability, that you know, possibility of grail ability. It's exciting. Some of you who like to hunt know what I'm talking about. Some of you that are competitive know what I'm talking about. While it's cool, and I do get figures and collectibles that are readily available that anybody could get, that are within that community, it's usually you're getting them around, you still got the value. You could kind of get rid of them, or it used to be, you know, and still get your money back. Not lately, baby. Not lately. Not in this economy. Not with 6 scale. There's a lot of things to think about here when it comes to this. But one thing that I was going through with buying Hot Toys over the last, what's it, year and a half now? Not so much the stuff that's coming out now. But the past year and a half was like, I'm buying it, but I know what I'm in for if I got to get out of it. I know what I'm in for if I want to flip it because I want to get something else in the future. And not to get into this whole conversation, well, you know, I buy it and I never look to flip, and you shouldn't flip, or you know, you just keep what you have. I understand that and I respect that. I think that's cool. For me, I'm not wired that way. I have to be ready for a rainy day. I can't just, and these are investments. Don't let anybody tell you that they're not. They are. Are they sound investments? If you're doing it just, you know, like a 401k, no. No toys are. Numbered or not numbered. Serialized or not serialized. At least in my view, I don't think that they are. Okay? But they're still investments. I don't, and I can't justify. I just can't. I can't go spend $400 on a figure like this and still in stock at some comic shops and retailers, and then not even get half of my money back. It's discouraging. And while I could do that with a handful of figures, and while I think that that's cool, and You get that with some Black Series figures. They also, Black Series has some balance. And not just balance with figures of old, but balance with some of the new figures like you could get at the San Diego Comic-Con, from the New York Comic-Con, or from this Walmart exclusive, or this Entertainment Earth exclusive, or that exclusive, or this or that. And you're starting to see Hot Toys, baby, come up with some exclusives like this. And I'm excited as all get out for it because I feel like there needs to be balance. I could deal with a little bit of this. I really, really can. I really, really can. I could deal with a little bit of this, baby. If you give me a little bit of this. If there's balance between them both. Do I feel like hunting today? Do I feel like chasing today? Or do I feel like just sitting down and having a pina colada today? Do I feel like lounging out on the porch? Or do I feel like hunting frogs under rocks in my yard? What do I feel like doing? Pause, you're watching the market show. And I understand some people will look at these prices right now on this Warner Brothers 100th Gal Gadot Wonder Woman and say, this is outrageous. But I'm going to play devil's advocate to that. Is it really outrageous? Only 1,500 pieces of this made. That's what Hot Toys advertised. They put it right on their Facebook page. 1,500 worldwide. 1,500 in this solar system, in the galaxy, in any galaxy, in the universe, any alternate universe, anywhere. 1,500. That's all you get of this. That's all you're going to get of this particular one. And I know, when you're dealing with limited quantities, a limited run, I can bring up the original 12-back vinyl Cape Jawa mint on card. When you have a limited run, supply and demand comes in, excuse me, and starts taking effect. It becomes rare. It becomes a chase figure. People start to hunt for it. And while not everybody can get it, it's exciting. I could tell you with vintage collecting, I was finally, I so enjoyed what I used to collect, the vintage carded. And it was a number of years until I was able to get my hands on the original 12-back vinyl Cape Jawa. As a matter of fact, I got the one that's used on 12back.com. That was mine. I took a ride. I picked it up. Paid some good cash for it, baby. Somewhere around a couple $1,000s. That was cheap back then. Oh, my God. Took some time. Took some time. And I tell you what, I wasn't, I just wanted it. It was exciting to try and work towards it. It was exciting to hunt for it. It was exciting to try and get the best deal or see who wanted to unload it or try to get one that was authentic or one that wasn't damaged and one that didn't have a cracked bubble or the bubble separating from the card and had the right waffle pattern and had the correct, bubble on there. It wasn't a fake card and it didn't have any markings on it or any tampering with it. And gosh, goodness gracious. And yeah, I was able to eventually decided to send it to the AFAA, questioning my own grading ability. And I did get it back at the AFA 70. I did. That was the longest 30 days of my life. Waiting for that to come back from the Action Figure Grading Authority. Oh my God. Anyway. It's exciting. This is exciting. This is not really very exciting if it's... We don't know how many numbers it is. This is not very exciting if this is like Dark Side Anakin or Grand Moff Tarkin or the animated Boba Fett, which I think we could all venture to guess there's more than 1,500 of those produced. But when you have some knowledge and you know that something's rare, there's only 1,500 of these. So that means that, it's not just 1,500 in Russia. It's not just 1,500 in Asia. It's not just 1,500 in Australia. It's not just 1,500 in Europe. It's not just 1,500 in the Americas. It's not just 1,500 on the moon. It's not just 1,500 on Mars. It's not just 1,500 on Jakku, baby. It's 1,500 everywhere. But for those collectors that really want to come in this hobby, not everybody wanted a 12-back carded vinyl Cape Jawa. Someone said, I'm really fine. I'm really fine with it not being carded. I'm not paying that price. Not for me. Not interested. And it's the same thing here. I don't care about Rooted. I don't care about Artisan. Not interested. And I respect that. I honestly wish they would have came out with a freaking sculpted hair Anakin for this for a lot of people like they did with the Joker. I think there's a reason for that, though. I believe that there's another Anakin coming. I believe there's a... I really do, but I don't want to get off this thing. But not everybody wants a 12-back carded Jawa. They think it's too much. Not for me. Some people don't want this gal. I'm happy with my MMS 584, my 1984 Wonder Woman. I don't need this. And you should feel that way. But not everybody feels that way. And if you're looking to embrace a larger audience, and if you're looking to attract more and more attention and more collectors, who in the world? You need to have balance. You need to have some stuff like this. I would have never have gotten into collecting vintage Star Wars when I was a kid. There's a huge reason why I collected. It's because of my experiences as a child, especially and with Star Wars, playing with those figures, being able to relive it. But there is a huge proponent as to the rareability. The fact that everybody tore open those packages and are like, oh my God, why did I do that? You see how much they're worth now? I want to relive my childhood. I want to go out and hunt that. That's a huge proponent of it. And if it was still at every Woolworths you went to, or every Two Guys you went to, or every Walmart you went to, or every Target you went to, you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. I used to play with the Slinky too. I really don't care about the Slinky. I just want a Slinky because I love having it on my shelf. But you're not really hunting a Slinky anymore because you can still get the Slinky. I just said Slinky. I'm talking about that, but it's true. You guys know what I'm talking about. Pause for coffee. You're watching the Market Chart Show. And I'm not discounting people that like that with Slinkies because there's a great deal of them. But there's also a great deal that like this. Really? And trying to pull this up on a screen. There's only so many people you're going to attract when you have stuff like this going on. And you have this going on with Black Series too. There's some that comes out that are just that's like this. But they have great yin and yang. They've got great balance. You've got chase figures. You've got super rare figures. And not just from the past, but ones that come out that are super rare. You have some stuff like this. And then you have some stuff that's just regular at retail. But here's the difference between Black Series and Hot Toys. This goes for over 400 smackaroos! And this person can't even get back half of the money on a die-cast figure. And if you have some that are going this way, just being able to sell it at retail is not really balance. That's kind of like just bringing the scale up to the top. You got to tip one way and you're bringing it up to the top. But you need some. You need something that's also going to tip the other way, which is what you're looking at here. But something justified to go that way. And I say 1,500 worldwide. Is that justified if someone feels like they want to buy the vinyl Cape Jawa like I did? And I have friends that are like, you're nuts. I say yes. Because it depends on what you like. And if this is going to be a vinyl Cape Jawa for some people, then let it be a vinyl Cape Jawa for some people. Let it be a 21 back Boba Fett carded for some people. Let it be an original mint on card G.I. Joe Baroness for some people. Let it be an original Battlestar Galactica carded Lucifer for some people. But that one's outrageously high. I don't want to pay that. That's great. I appreciate that. Some do. And you need balance. There's only 1,500 of these. Only 1,500 of this Wonder Woman. And I get it. I get it. In art. Looks like they're going to come out with a Wonder Woman. Maybe there'll be an XYZ company, another company that'll also be able to have a license for Warner Brothers overseas or who knows where else and come out with one as well. But still, this is the Warner Brothers 100th from Hot Toys. And Hot Toys has the license for this, so of course they're also going to come out with another Wonder Woman. And here's the thing. Because some people say, hey, I'm going to wait for InArts. And I'm going to counter that and say, well, I'm going to wait for Hot Toys after InArts. Or maybe at the same time as InArts. By the time that comes out. Why do you say that, Aries? Because Hot Toys has the license for Gal Gadot. How many Christian Bales have they come out with already? And they sell. How many Lokis have they come out with already? And they sell. I mean, how many? I mean, they're not going to give up on Gal Gadot. Of course, they're going to come out with more. She was just in a Flash movie too. When was the last time Christian Bale was in a Batman movie? How many of them do we get? Goodness gracious! Of course, Hot Toy is going to do another one. And so I'll wait for the Hot Toys one. And just my 2 cents on this, I don't feel like this is a kit bash at all. I feel like there's more of an argument for that for the Dark Side Anakin. Not for this one. Gosh, did you see the difference on the head sculpt? Whether it's new or not, I don't know. If it's just paint apps, I'm actually more impressed. Because this looks like the best looking head sculpt, forget the hair, that I've ever seen. Did you see my man Reagan's MRC Collection Ventures review on this thing? Holy smokes. And honestly, when Hot Toys coming out with these same ones and the 2.0s and these other companies, which I think is good because you would never get, you got to sometimes punch the mother company in the mouth to get them to move. I hope we just don't keep coming out with the same things over and over again. I pray that we don't get another company or now another in-art Joker of this, or some other company coming out with it. Then Hot Toys is another one. It's like we're going to get a Superman, we're going to get a Wonder Woman, then they're going to do another one. Can we get some different stuff, please, from every company, okay? I don't want Ford to come out with a Camaro. I'd rather them come out with a Crown Vic, baby, and a Mustang, please. It's cool. It's needed. It's okay. I don't need it with every figure. I need diversity, please. Pause for coffee. I just do. Which is going to lead me into, what do I think about these being instant grails, and what about the old versions of all three of these? We're getting right into that now. But finishing up this point, when Hot Toys comes out with another Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, it'll never be a Warner Brothers 100th one. And this one's limited to 1,500 pieces, and it will always be limited to 1,500 pieces. And that's the beauty of this figure. No pun intended. You know what I'm talking about. And beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And let me tell you something about value. The value of something is what somebody is willing to pay for it. And the reason the vinyl Cape Jawa is worth what it's worth is because people are willing to pay that for it. The people set the value. People are setting the value on this. It's what it costs. But this is numbered. And I do... If this is your vinyl Cape Jawa, if this is your G.I. Joe Baroness, so be it. Jedi. And if it's not, good for you too. Well, what do you mean, Harris? That's balance. That's yin and yang. Everybody's happy. And that's why I think that this was so good. Before we talk about, are these instant grails, and what about their counterparts? Do I think that they're going to do this every week? No. Do I think that they're going to do this Hot Toys every couple weeks? No. Every few weeks? No. Am I okay if they did this monthly or every 5 weeks or 6 times a year? Yeah, I'd be shocked if they didn't do it 6 times a year. Number one, I'm not too worried about my wallet if they do it 6 times a year. Why? Because I was only 1 for 2. I only batted 1 for 2. I only batted 500 when I went to the plate this last Thursday and Friday. I got Joker, I didn't get Anakin. Which tells me after 6 figures or 8 figures, I'm probably going to go 3 for 6 or maybe 4 for 8 if I'm lucky. I'm probably not going to go 4. Probably not going to go 6 for 6. I'm probably not going to bat 8 for 8. And quite frankly, my wallet appreciates it. My wife appreciates it too. Second thing is, I can't buy vinyl Cape Jawa and 21 back Boba Fett and a carded Vlix and a double telescoped Luke Skywalker and a double scoped Darth Vader. I double telescope. I can't buy all of that. Just like I can't buy every figure right now. Again, I need balance. Not only does the company need balance, and the collecting community, the collectibles need balance, we need to have balance as well. And just because I couldn't get that 21 back Boba Fett, that doesn't mean I wasn't spilling my coffee looking at all those pictures and when some of my other friends were able to go ahead and get one before I could. Balance. And I think if they did this 6, 8 times a year, even up to 10 times a year, there's some balance. Especially if, like with the Joker, every version has a sculpted version that's not going to go out at that time. It's still going to be available. Because there's a lot of people, quite frankly, who don't want rooted hair. I can tell you right now, I don't want rooted hair on every figure. I don't want rooted hair on my Boba Fett's. Oh, it doesn't have any hair. No, seriously, I don't. If they gave me a Jango Fett with rooted hair or a Moff Gideon with rooted hair, I really wouldn't be interested. I'm fine with the sculpted. Their hair is kind of small, kind of short. Luke, Han, that whole 70s, 80s style, yeah, that kind of works with the rooted hair. That would be kind of cool. You know, Leia, come on. Padme, come on. Gamora, come on. Scarlett Johansson, come on. Come on. Pepper Potts, come on. Anne Hathaway, come on. Christian Bale, Robert Downey Jr., and I think they're going to do an Iron Man. I think they're going to do a Christian Bale one too. And make it the sculpted version if they offer it. I'll be honest with you. Their hair is not that poofy for me to really be. I'm fine with sculpted. Again, I'm already thinking about what I'm going to have balance with. I'm not going to have a figure that has rated hair. I'm just not. I don't need it. And I don't think rooted hair is the be-all, end-all for every figure, to be quite frank with you. But I think on some figures, on this Joker, it makes a difference. This Joker and this Anakin and this Wonder Woman are three of the best figures I've ever seen in my life. In my life. It's remarkable. But especially if they offered sculpted versions, right there's balance for people that can get rooted or sculpted. For those that really wanted the rooted, it could be a chase figure. And then you have some of those, just like Black Series has some of those, and every collectible has some of those. And then you have ones that are more readily available that you got a little bit more time, like this sculpted version of the Joker. But I'll tell you right now, that sculpted version of the Joker, man, make no mistake about it, it's only going to be up for probably 2 or 3 months. Everything's being produced in less quantities right now because there's just not enough juice within the secondary market, just like that rescue I pulled up before. And I pulled up a lot on the market show, if you follow me. An economy, and not just in the U.S., this is everywhere. An economy where essentials and necessities are just so high, and you need to scrape together every nickel and dime, and every penny you have to try and get by. It's hard to find $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 now for that awesome dewback and Stormtrooper. You know, of course, there's going to be less quantities. Of course, there's going to be less quantities. I mean, there just is. But you're seeing this on the screen. Are these instant grails? I say yes. There's only 1,500 of her. And there will always be just 1,500 of this Warner Brothers 100 Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. Even if InArt makes a different version, ABC Company makes one that's also different and better, InArt makes one better, Howard makes another one that's better. This one's limited. It's a different game, and it's always going to have a value. And here's another thing. There's only so much rolling eyes function on the Wonder Woman, especially with the amazing job on this head sculpt. Again, a shout out to Regan MRC Collection Ventures. I don't know how much better it can be. And at this point, with this version of the Heath Ledger Joker, I don't know how much better any other company, or Hot Toys even, or InArt can do for another version that can make it. At this point, it's done. Unless it's living and breathing, Unless they use cloning and make little mini ones like they did Jurassic Park, these little dino DNA. I mean, I don't know what else they could do. What else could they do to make it even better? And it's actually 6-scale form, so it's kind of only one size. Do I think you can make them better in quarter scale, 1/3 scale? Sure. 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 I'm all into the whole wax museum thing, baby. Are these instant grails? You ain't going to get that Anakin done any better. I don't care if someone got another Star Wars license. I don't care if someone else was able to get permission from Hasbro to be able to do more, to do Star Wars 6 scale. How much more better can you do than what this is anyway? At this point, again, unless it has Anakin DNA, I don't know. This Gal Gadot's a grail. The Anakin has twice as much at 3,000 worldwide. Wonder Woman's Wonder Woman. She's extremely popular. And while I think Linda Carter is still, for me, the face of Wonder Woman, I don't think there was many, many iterations or attention of Wonder Woman for years. And I think Gal Gadot is perhaps the new face of Wonder Woman. Some people may not even know who Linda Carter is. It's just a little bit different than the Christopher Reeve Superman and some of that. But I just really feel that for a lot of people that Gal Gadot, and even when they have a new Wonder Woman, that she will be the face. I just feel like there's a little bit different anomalies when it comes to Wonder Woman than with some other characters. And I would love a Linda Carter. I'd buy it in a second. But right now, this is Wonder Woman to me. She's Wonder Woman. She is. So she's popular. What about Anakin having twice as much? Everybody knows, though, it's only 3,000. Every future auction from now or in 15 years is going to say limited to 3,000 on this Anakin. And as I said before, I don't know what company can do any better. And let's just say that some company was able to get a license. Really, how much better is it going to be? And then it becomes more politics and more like, I like this company better than that one. It really starts to make no sense at that point. It's really apples and oranges. It's so dark. Again, unless it comes to life, unless it's like real flesh or something like that, I just don't know. And maybe some of these figures will come with 14 karat gold platers, and I hope not. Like people always talk about, I hope we get more. Well, I don't know, whatever, more die cast or more. I don't want any of that. For what? I pick up the figure. I don't just sit there and look at the base. There's nobody comes and looks at my collection and knows if the Boba Fett and the throne base is made out of stone or made out of the plastic. Who cares? I got an awesome diorama. Awesome. Incredible. One of the best I've ever seen from Desi at Metamorphic Customs. Shout out to him. He does great diorama work. And you can look at that Darth Maul, that Phantom Menace background, and swear it's made out of stone or cement. It's made out of foam. Who cares? I'm not going to play with it. Oh, I'm going to sit in. What am I going to sit on? Oh, look at this. Look at this diorama. I keep holding it and feeling it. No, it's not like a figure. Diorama, you put it down. It's done. I don't need any of that extra fancy stuff. I really just don't. But that's for me. If you do, that's great. Enjoy yourself. Pay an extra $400 and think that company is better than another or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. This is with 6 scales about head sculpts. That's what the battle is. This Anakin is going to be... Let me put it to you this way. Is it possible that this Anakin will be worth more Then the dark side Anakin going for around $800 to $1,000 in the secondary market, brand new. And I say, yes. You don't know if that dark side Anakin is more or less than 3,000 copies. But I could venture to guess it's more than 3,000. You don't know. With 4,000 of this rooted hair Joker, if it's more or less than the DX11, I would say less. But the thing that is for sure, it will always be just 4,000. And it's so hard. How can you do any better than that Joker moving forward? How can you really do any better than that Anakin moving forward? I mean, there comes a point, maybe through seamless joints or new clothing or some kind of new leather, like Ricardo Montalban's Corinthian leather. Remember that with the Pontiac Trans Ams? Comes equipped with the Corinthian leather. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, sure. Some of this stuff, I don't think Artisan actually comes with leather. I'm sure it's pleather, and I really could care less. This could come with leather. This could come with Beskar metal, like real Beskar. It could come made out of gold. If the head sculpt looks like crap, I really could care less. There's a lot of gold-plated Star Wars and Marvel and IP things that I could go ahead and get that I have zero interest in. I want a darn toy. I'm just saying. These are grails, in my view. These are absolute grails. And the beautiful thing about this is you don't have to wait as long for these to age as you did the Han Solo Stormtrooper or the Han Solo regular from A New Hope. You don't have to wait as long for these to age like a Yondu did. You don't have to wait as long for these to age like the latest from Hot Toys, Henry Cavill Superman, or the Ben Affleck Batman that has the full Ben Affleck head sculpt. You don't have to wait as long as you had for those. Going back to Star Wars, you didn't have to wait as long for these as you did Dooku and Krennic. These will become instant grails just like the 3,000 limited arena suit Boba Fett, which was advertised at just 3,000 worldwide. Just 3,000. Just 3,000 worldwide. No rooted hair. And when you want to do comparisons as far as from retail to what it goes for now, here's an arena suit Boba Fett, just sold from an outstanding seller. Now 1,749 feedback. All 100% positive. Hawk Wars Toys. My friend Ray from Hawk Wars Toys. I buy a lot off him. I just opened up my Fennec. Got that from Ray at Hawk Wars Toys. Going to be opening up my chrome-plated Mandalorian with Grogu. The Pedro Pascal head sculpt. I can't wait for that. Also from Hawk Wars Toys. I do get some figures from him. Highly recommend them. Double boxes. But look at right here. Not even a best offer. At just 375 sold. Just like this week. This is well above. And even in a junk economy. Well above. Well above the retail price where you can originally get this. What's going to happen with the Anakin? What's going to happen with the Joker? And honestly, I love the dark side Anakin. I have the dark side Anakin, but I know for a fact pretty much that the dark side Anakin is produced in greater quantities than this figure. And I think that this figure is one of the best looking figures of all time. So if I were to spend $800 on a dark side Anakin or this Anakin, I'm going to get this Anakin. Pause. But what if they come out, Aries, with another Anakin like this? Well, like I was talking about with Wonder Woman, you're only going to get that one because it's Warner Brothers 100. So that's it for that one. This one's a DX Artisan. It's always going to be what it is. But that's a good point. What if they do come out with another Anakin? You got to know when to hold them. And you got to know when to fold them. That's part of the collecting game. And you've heard some people that are like, hey, I'm selling my DX06, my DX07, Luke. Or I'm selling this, I'm selling that to make room for the new and improved version. For the latest one that is the best one, that is the more highly sought after, that is worth more. And that is a huge part of collecting for some people. And a huge part of the hunt and a huge part of being able to keep track of the market and knowing when to hold a figure and knowing when you got to go ahead and unload a figure because what you paid for it may start losing some value. And that brings me up. That brings me to, what about the prior versions of this Joker? What about the prior versions of this Anakin? What about all the prior versions of the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman? What about it? And as I pull this up onto the screen to kind of bring in some clarity and to kind of show you, paint you a picture here of some of these. And pulling this up onto the screen. And it's taking a minute for it to load. Here we go. Let's go to the rooted hair version. This is the latest and greatest darling. This is the latest and greatest thing that everybody came together with, and you saw enormous lines for this figure. What about the prior versions of this figure? Does this affect the DX11? Did this affect InArt's version? Does this affect any version in the future? It's a good question. Does it affect it? Is it going to have effect on those figures? What about with this figure right here? And as that's coming up onto the screen, what about all these prior versions? What about the Clone Wars Anakin? What about the regular Revenge of the Sith Anakin? What about the dark side Anakin? Does it affect those? What about the Wonder Woman 1984? What about the Golden Armor Wonder Woman? What about this Wonder Woman, that Wonder Woman, that Wonder Woman? Will some of those slowly go down in price to the bargain bin? Will some of those eventually be treated like figures that are still really good, but are just not the latest darling and thing that everybody wants, like this awesome Luke Skywalker, MMS 429. And what I will tell you is, I think it'll be different for each character and it'll be different for each thing, but there is certainly something to be said about what the latest and greatest is, and what the latest buzz is, and what the freshest thing on the market is, and what could supposedly be the best thing. And as you're seeing right over here, there is a cause and effect. And whether or not it's a bargain bin, I really don't know. I'm shocked at where this one is. You got to be freaking kidding me. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. But it will have an effect on some of the prices. And if something is believed to be the best, it's kind of like when InArt came out with theirs. Did it have an effect on the previous Hot Toys version? You bet your arse it did. It started to go down. This is the way of things. That's how it is. Kind of like this. The latest and greatest. Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, excuse me. Paz Vizsla now, I guess. This ain't going for $400 anymore. $240, $250. It has an effect. It usually always has an effect. Is this at the bargain bin? No. Does that mean that any previous versions of these figures are going to go in the bargain bin? No. Does it mean it's possible? Sure, anything's possible. Is it going to have an effect? I say yes. We're just going to have to keep an eye on exactly what effect that is going to be. For sure. For sure. I want to bring you here. This is 6scalecantina.com. Let me bring you to this yellow section here, which is available at 6scalecantina.com no matter what area you go to. And this yellow section, this light highlighted yellow section, gives you a sampling or a little bit of a snapshot, if you will, of everything you could get if you decide to join my channel. If you join my channel, there's no tiers, it's just one tier. It's cheaper a month than a dozen eggs in most places. Cheaper than a gallon of gas a month than most places. And what do you get? You get a great library of different things if you like what you heard here today. But look at this latest episode that's going to be coming up tomorrow. Wizard's Crystal Ball Episode 3. And you can see this right there on the screen. I'll blow it up for you. You're not going to want to miss that. You see inside the crystal ball Hayden Christensen's full head sculpt from the Obi-Wan series with that Vader helmet. Of course, you're seeing that awesome statue there of Vader on the throne. Is it possible that Hot Toys is about to give us this in one package? Or one of each? You're not going to want to miss Episode 3 of the Wizard's Crystal Ball exclusive for channel members. You can see here the Wizard's Crystal Ball Episode 2. That's the latest one that's up right now. You see George Reeves' original Superman. You see the original motion picture Christopher Reeve's Superman up there. You see Carrie Fisher. What's up with that? What am I talking about with that? Is that with sculpted? Rooted hair? Both? Is that an artisan? You're not going to want to miss that. And of course, if you go on the side, there's many samples, including you can see the Wizard's Crystal Ball 1. You can see my BS Detector series on eBay scams. You can see my movie review series. There's a little snapshot of what I thought of The Flash. There's a lot of my predictions on here. If you joined the channel, I predicted that Luke was next up the wait list, and he did. And you get all kinds of crazy stuff on here. Just all you got to do is just click on the little join button on the channel. See everything that it comes with. If you think you could benefit from it, you may want to consider joining today. And of course, baby, the Dark Jedi appreciates your support, just like pizza is going to send out for you. And speaking about crazy stuff, what you gonna do when the Dark Jedi goes back live on 6 Scale Raw tomorrow, 8:15 p.m. Eastern on you. Don't miss your premiere 6 Scale show for Monday night. 6 Scale Raw tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna have we're gonna have some amazing topics. We're gonna spill some darn coffee, and we're gonna have so much fun. You're not gonna wanna miss that, my friends. That's about all I got today. I'm out of gas for this podcast. I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I do it right here at 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Grail.